Happy Halloween! I've got my hat on here, and I've got some candy in my bag here. I've got some Japanese Kit Kat. Can you read that katakana? So this is otona, otona. It's like for adult Kit Kat, but it's really just like white with like a like a Oreo cookie wafer instead of a more vanilla wafer. But they're tasty. What else have I got? Oh, I've got like Fanta candy. Fanta is a really popular brand of like soda here. They've got orange, grape. Grape's probably the most popular in the vending machines. Anyway, so I did some Halloween lessons today, and I know I'm gonna take this off. I know it is already Halloween basically finished in Japan, and it's gonna start being Halloween in America. So you probably won't be able to use this lesson idea uh, today or this year. But I figured you could bookmark it or search for it again next year when you're thinking of something to do. Or, of course, you can take the idea, it's very adaptable, and change it for Christmas or New Year or Valentine's Day or whatever you want to do. And I think it's a good idea. So let me just show you around my classroom real quick. This is a typical Japanese class. You can see it's dark. It's already past 6:30. I have a late class on Wednesdays. So the kids all just left, and there's my Happy Halloween notice there. I've got two TVs in here, as you can see. I'm pretty well stocked out. A DVD player. I've got a overhead projector thing. Stereo setup, speakers. I can hook my Mac here into the TVs. I show slides. I use Keynote on my Mac to run my classes a lot. Okay, so this is what it is. It's a logic puzzle. And there's 6 clues, so it's not very hard. These are my Daigakse. So you would think, they do it pretty quick. But to kind of explain the game and to let them play, you're always going to have one team that's faster than another team, for example. But I'd say 15 to 20 minute activity. I think I did it today in a few of my classes and was finished in about 15 minutes. So you got to pass out a grid sheet. Okay, and basically, as you can see here, you've got Johnny, Brad, Matt, and Angela. I'm pretty sure you can figure out which celebrities those are. I just went with English names that they might recognize, so it's easier for them to say. And then you have to figure out what costume they're wearing and what candy they like. Okay, so their costumes and the candy. What you're going to want to do is you'd want to write on the board or put it on a slide. You'd want to give them the 4 candies. So, for example, in this puzzle, it's Kit Kat, M&Ms, Lollipops, and Gummi Bears. Gummi Bears. Okay, so you got to put that up somewhere so they know how to spell it and they know, And generally, you want to pick candies that you think they'll know what they are. But if they're working in teams, generally somebody in their team is going to know what an M&M is, even though that's not a particularly popular candy in Japan. It is widely available. And then the 4 costumes are vampire, ninja, robot, and witch. Okay? So the kids are dressing up, they're going to a party. What costume are they wearing? What candy do they like? And then you've got clues. So this game takes a little bit of prep. You got to cut up the clues, you got to print them, you got to make the sheet. But after that, like I did all this 2 years ago, and now I've used it each year. So here's clue number 1. The boy who likes Kit Kat the best did not dress up as a vampire. Okay, so right away they know it's a boy, so they know it's not Angela. She's the only girl of the 4 people, and they get some clues. So to get the 6 clues, I have them come up to my desk one at a time. So like in the class I just taught, it's a small class. We're only 12 students today. So there's 3 teams of 4 people. But in my 2 regular classes earlier in the day, I had 5 teams of 4 or 5 people. Okay, so I have them number off. Okay, you're number 1 person, you're number 2 person, you're number 3 person, and I say, okay, number 1 person, stand up. Okay, come up to the desk. And then I just kind of give myself a little note here, like, I'll ask them about subjects, fruits, numbers, seasons, colors, body, vegetable, animals, aisatsu. So I'll just stand there and say, okay, how do you say chairo in English? How do you say ude in English? How do you say ohayo gozaimasu in English? Just rapid fire. But I'll throw in a few little hard ones, like how do you say kirin in English, which is giraffe? Or I'll say, how do you say ohisashiburi in English, which a lot of them don't know how to say it in English, which is long time no see or I haven't seen you in a while. If they can't guess it right away, I say, okay, go back to your team and ask them and come back. So it's just something, to give a little bit of English in there, and then I hand them the clue. Okay? I'll put all the clues down in the description, and you can have a guess. I won't tell you the answer in this video. Okay, clue number 2. Johnny's favorite candy is round, but it doesn't have a stick. So you can see a student there in pencil circled round. They thought that was important. Clue number 3. Matt, who doesn't like chocolate, dressed up as a robot. Now, as you can see, this English is somewhat difficult. I mean, this is not the type of clues you could probably give to Chugakse. Although you maybe could do like Sannensei. But definitely high school, and I use it in my college class, so just to give them something fun to do sometimes. Lollipops are not Brad's favorite candy. I'd probably play this with my upper level Chugakse. Of course, you couldn't do this in Shogakko, but I have a game like this for Shogakko if you're interested. That I just never play anymore because I don't teach that age anymore. The girl, they put a question mark under it, so that's interesting. The girl dressed as a witch likes to eat gummy bears for a snack. Maybe they didn't realize Angela was a girl. I just figured Angelina Jolie. Or yeah, I put Angelina. Yeah. Oh, I put Angela. Yeah, I put Angela. Okay, maybe that's why they didn't know it. But Angela Aki, I mean, she's a really famous singer. Okay, and last clue, number 6. The boy who dressed up as a vampire, likes green M&Ms the best. Okay, and so you just have to make multiple copies of each clue. So I made 5. So the maximum number of teams I could have playing would be 5, and that's perfect for my classes. Because the most I ever have in a class is usually 25 or so. And that would be 5 teams of 5. You could make more slips if you have larger classes. And then after they come up, you don't make them wait. After the people come up and get clue number 1, you say, okay, number 2 people come up. And you hand out the clues. Number 3 people come up. And then they all go back to their table, and they've got the chart, and they start filling it in until, they've got all the answers written in. And then the fast team comes up and gives you the paper. You check it. And sometimes it'll be wrong. Usually it's right when it's this simple. And if they're right, then you give them a prize. Of course, today the prize was candy, my kind of ghetto Happy Halloween bag that I kind of made, but I just had all kinds of candy. So the winning team got 2 extra candy, the second place team got 1 extra candy, and then the rest of the teams, bupkis. But giving out candy in class is usually frowned upon. Halloween is the one day in Japan you'll generally be able to get away with giving candy to your students. Of course, if you're in Shogakko or something, they're going to organize stuff. So that's about it. Let me see, anything else I should tell you? I've got about a minute here. Let me just show you some of the sheets I did. Oh, I've got my Spider-Man tie on. Can you see it? Can you see it? That's about as close as to Halloween I get. Here's just some examples of some sheets I printed out for you guys. Word search, really hard, like crossword puzzle. Crossword puzzles are hard for non-native speakers. What else did I do? For my really young kids at another word search, another crossword puzzle. This is all stuff you can find really easily on the internet. And then just for kids that just want to turn off their brain, simple color. Take out your pens or whatever, color the pumpkins. And I think that's about it. Oh no, I had this one, which is kind of like Boggle. So you take the word haunted house, how many other words can you make from it, and here's a bunch of suggestions. And this was from bogglesworld.com, ESL.com. So lots of good stuff out there. Had a fun day teaching Halloween and doing Halloween stuff. And yeah, so bookmark it, come back to it in a year, or adapt it for Christmas or something. You can make the grid bigger, give more clues. It's a fun, fun game. All right, thanks for watching, guys. See ya.